Hello, we are live. Welcome aboard the Metro South online virtual classes. See if anybody joins. We'll just get started. Let's see. Hello, welcome. This is Metro South online classes, virtual classes. I never know what to call it exactly, but we are on the webs, and you guys are watching us from home, and I am at home as well. Welcome to my backyard. This is Parkour Freerunning Level 2, our intermediate class. And things we are going to be covering today. We're going to be going over running jumps, and I have some special treats for you as well. Something called the ghost step. All right. If you don't know what the ghost step is, it is cool. It is really fun. So stay tuned for that. But first, we got to go over some basic running jump techniques. Pretty quickly. You guys should know this. You'll be doing it just fine. And then I'll show you some really cool stuff. All right. Things you will need today is a decent amount of space. Okay, these skills can be modified to be done in one spot, right? So you could just like pretend to do it in one spot. So if you don't have a lot of space, don't fret, don't worry. You can do it in like a closet if you needed to. All right. Hopefully you don't need to be in a closet, but if you are in a closet, you won't miss out. Now, I am outside. All right. Outside, the outdoors allows me to have plenty of space. I also have a hard ground here. All right. It is these concrete slabs and concrete over there and some bricks. And the other thing I want to say is that I am barefoot. Whoa, what? You're not wearing shoes, Coach Alex? Why the heck wouldn't you wear shoes? You're outside. Well, the answer is I want my feet to be strong and I want my running jumps to be correct. Now, what does that all mean? That means that if my feet are practiced at being outside, that means I'm outside all the time without shoes, then my feet are going to get stronger, okay? The other thing is that my running jumps are going to be correct because if I do them wrong, it's not going to feel so great. Now, you ever had a high five with somebody where they slap you so hard that your hand stings for like 2 minutes, right? That's the sensation I'm talking about. So when we do our running jumps, and if we're barefoot and we do it wrong, it's going to feel like a sting. If you do it correctly, you're not going to feel a thing. Now, why would I want to risk there any reward, right? But in reality, I'm not present to tell you guys if you're doing something wrong, right? I'm here at my house, you're at your house. How do we get our body to tell us if something is wrong? Well, the biggest thing that tells us if something is wrong is pain, right? And now I'm not talking about injuries that are going to make us walk on crutches and stuff like that. I'm talking about like if somebody pinched you or slapped you or you put your hand on the stove, right, really quick, ow, all right? That type of response is something that our body reacts to. And it says, oh, that was painful. I'm not going to do that again. So if we're doing our running jumps and we do something wrong, our feet are going to be like, ouch, that hurt. Please don't do that. And our brain is going to be like, well, what did I do wrong? Right? So this is a helpful technique to teach ourselves while we're here at home and even when we're not at home. Okay? So with that being said, little review. When we do our jumps, we are landing on the balls of our feet. So that is this top part of our foot. It is not our heel. If you land on your heel when you are barefoot, it is going to hurt a lot. Instead, we're going to land on the balls of our feet. And when we do that, we are going to catch ourselves with our legs. That means that we're going to bend our legs down, absorbing our impact. So taking the impact into our muscles instead of pushing against the ground, boom, and slapping really hard. Now, if you land a jump and you don't bend your legs, all that force is going straight into your feet, and it's going to slap, and it's going to go into your knees, and it's going to twang and hurt, and it's going to go into your hips, and it's going to grind away at the health of your joints. But if you use your muscles to absorb that jump, you're going to build muscles, and you're going to get stronger, and you're not going to feel a thing. So that's why I'm barefoot. If I'm wearing a shoe with a really thick rubber, that rubber is going to take all that sensory information, so all that information that the ground and my feet are telling me, and it's going to get rid of it. So I won't know if I'm doing something wrong, okay? Now, if you really must wear shoes, you can, but I would prefer if you weren't, okay? With that being said, we're going to take extra care to make sure we don't hurt ourselves. So we're going to tone everything down. We're not going to be going the furthest jumps we possibly can, and we're certainly not going to be doing crazy stunts on pavement with bare feet. Instead, we're going to practice technique. Cool. Let's get started. A little bit of a warm-up, really quick, jogging in place. Just running in place. Here we go. Here we go. Get those legs moving and jumping jacks. Swing those arms, feet go out wide. Toes. Here we go. And high knees. Lift your knees up nice and high. Feet are soft on the ground. You're not stomping. All right? My toes are the only thing touching here. The balls of my feet, not my heels. And butt kicks. So now we're running in place, kicking our butt. Feet are coming way up behind us. Knees stay low. We're moving. All right. And stop. Next, stand with your feet just slightly apart, okay? So not out wide like this and not super close, slightly apart. We're gonna crouch down, so lifting our heels off the floor into our landing position here, all right? So my heels are off, my toes are on, my knees are apart like this, my arms are out in front. From this position, I'm gonna swing my arms back, swing them up and jump, and absorb back down, okay? 5 more times. Here we go. Swing up and absorb. Up and stick the landing. Up and take away all that impact. Up and nice landing. Good job. Up. Here we go. I think that might have been 5, but we're going to do one more anyways. Ready? Last one of the warm-up, and then we're getting into it. This is a refresh. Up and stick. Cool. Last little safety tips here. If you fall over backwards during any of these jumps, do not reach your arm behind you. That is how you're going to break your wrist or your elbow, okay? Instead, you can do 2 things. You can fall over and stand up, which stops us from falling completely over. You can try that now. Go down into the landing position, start to rock backwards so that you start to fall over, and then stand up as fast as you can, and you'll save yourself. That's called a bounce back. And number 2 is start to rock back and fall to your butt. And now you look like a turtle. Okay? I always ask my students this when I'm talking about safety of falling over backwards. Would you rather break your arm or get a bruise on your butt? Think about that question. Decide which one you would rather, and then act appropriately. Cool. Let's get started with some running jumps. Okay. So for the running jump, I want you guys to pick a takeoff target, and then not too far away. We're going to pick a landing target. For me, I have all these nice squares, so I can pick something that to land on, okay? Right? When we do the running jump, our speed forwards is what's going to send us forwards, all right? Our leg is going to kick and send us up so we can get the maximum amount of distance we want. If you're running forwards and you just try to jump forwards, you're not going to go up high enough, and you're going to end up doing a line drive. So that means whoosh, straight like this at your target. We don't want to go straight to where we're trying to jump to. We want to arc our way up. So that means we're going up and over the top and down, okay? And you can try running and going straight, but you're not going to be able to stick that jump, all right? You're not going to be able to get a proper landing. So instead, we need to be jumping up and over and then sticking, okay? So pick a takeoff, pick a target to land on. And remember, if you are barefoot, please make this smaller than normal. If you cannot stick this jump, I don't want you doing it. Make it smaller. I don't care how far you can jump. I want to see how far you can jump and stick the landing, okay? All right. I'm going to start with a small run up. So only 2 to 3 steps, and I'm just going to run kick, and stick my landing. Okay? So why don't we try this 5 times? We're running, kicking, and sticking our landing. When we kick, that leg is going to kick up into the air. Boom. All right? So we're running, we go, boom, kicking. Before that happens, where are we looking? This is a great question. So you guys should be doing these jumps while I'm talking, okay? So we're doing running jumps. When we run, we want to look first at our takeoff, okay? So the spot on the ground where you're first jumping. Because if you're going to take off right here, and in front of you is a pit of lava filled with sharks, you definitely want to make sure you don't accidentally miss your takeoff and step into that, okay? So instead, when you're running, you're looking at your takeoff. As soon as your foot is on the takeoff or about to be on the takeoff and you're definitely sure that it's there, then you're going to look up at your target here. You kick your foot and bring both feet into view and point them at where you want to go. If your feet are pointing at the object you want to jump to, guess what happens? You're going to go to the object pointing to. Okay? So if you jump and you put your feet behind you, you're not going to make it. But if you jump out and aim for that target, you're going to make it. Okay? So after that long explanation, you guys probably have done 5 or more of these running jumps. Okay? We're going to bump it up a little bit, and we're just going to add a little bit more speed and like a tiny bit more distance. Our goal here is to go just a little bit further so that we can maintain control. Because like I said, I don't care how far you can jump. I want to see you control the jump. All right? So I'm running. I'm picking my target, looking at my takeoff. I kick, and I stick my landing in my landing position. That's all I want to see. Boom. Okay? Awesome. Do that 2 more times. Now, if you guys are feeling like your landings are really loud or heavy, that means you're not bending your knees enough as you absorb that landing, okay? And remember, we don't bend until we start to land. When we do land, our legs are not totally straight. They are slightly bent. Then we absorb down fully, all the way down, okay? This is what's going to build the muscles and the stability throughout this movement so that you can keep doing it forever. Cool. All right. Now that we've done that, here's the next step. I am going to take this to the next level. So what I mean by that is we're going to talk about what to do after we do a landing. Like, let's say we're doing a parkour line. Now, if we do a line, we probably don't want to stop moving with a running jump. All right? Instead, we're going to use a running jump to clear a distance, and then we're going to do something afterwards. Now, here are some things that you can do that will help keep your momentum moving, but won't make it so that you just kill your leg. So what I mean by that is if I run and I jump from here and I land over here and I do nothing but just hit and then keep running, that's going to take a toll on my body, because if I do that, I'm not landing and absorbing in any way. I'm just hitting, taking all that pressure, and then going. Now, if I absorb first, so if I jump and I land, push to run, that's good, okay? So absorbing, then pushing to run is good. Another thing you could do is what's called a stride. Now, you guys should know what a stride is, but a stride is a 1-to-1 foot jump. So I'm jumping off of 1 foot, and I'm landing on 1 foot. Now, when I land on the 1 foot here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it to push myself further into the next step. By pushing myself further into the next step, that's what's going to absorb my landing, is that I'm not trying to land on 1 foot. Instead, I'm trying to keep my momentum moving forwards. It's a lot easier to do on 1 foot than it is on 2. So let's try that. Pick yourself 2 targets, your takeoff and your landing, and we're going to try to kick and reach across and land in a stride, okay? So it's boom, boom, boom. Now, when we do the stride, We are not kicking and reaching way out in front of us and landing like this, okay? I should be landing with my foot directly underneath me. So check it out. Look at the difference. If I'm reaching my foot too far, it's going to look really goofy like this. And that's actually not going to help me absorb any impact or even go far, okay? So instead, I'm kicking my foot up and dropping it down right below me as I stride, okay? So boom. Now my whole body is up over my target. My foot is directly underneath me. This sets me up perfectly to kick into a second stride, okay? This does not, because no matter how hard you kick, this leg can't do anything when it's this far in front of you, okay? So we're here leaning over it, kicking through. So we can try 2 strides in a row, all right? So it's stride, stride, kick, kick. Foot is directly underneath us as we kick into the second jump. Cool. Sound good? All right, now, the special guest of the hour, the ghost step. What is the ghost step, you may ask? The ghost step is a type of stride. It is a really fun and cool looking stride. When we do a ghost step, it's also called a misstep. So how would we misstep on a stride? The way that that's going to work is I'm going to think about what foot I'm taking off on. So I'm going to take off of my right foot, which normally means that when I land for my stride, I'm going to land on my left foot and then kick again onto my right foot. But instead, I'm going to do a little switcheroo in the air, and I'm going to jump off of my right foot, and I'm going to land back on my right foot. So I'm kicking my left foot up, but instead of putting my left foot down, I'm then kicking my right foot forward immediately to get. So it looks like this. Ready? I'm kicking and then switching my feet in the air. So my left leg goes up and then kicks back as my right leg pushes backwards and kicks forwards, okay? So I'm going here, switching in the air. What you guys can think about this as is it's a skip, right? So when we skip, we jump off of one leg and we land back on the same leg. That's what the ghost step is, okay? So we're running, you're jumping off of one leg, landing back on the same. If you did multiple in a row, it would look something a little like this. Okay? Hope you guys can see that all right. So right leg jump, left leg kick, switch in the air so that we're in the exact same position we started in with a right leg jump and a left leg kick. Okay? Now you're like, well, Coach Alex, you look silly jumping over there. That's because these jumps are small. If I bump up the distance, that ghost step is going to have a lot of flash, and it's going to look really cool, okay? So let me show you one of those. Ready? So my target now is I'm going to jump from here off of my right leg, and I'm going to land over here back on my right leg, okay? Here we go. Running, kicking with the left, switching the feet in the air. Ready? Hope that didn't happen too fast for you guys. I will do a tutorial for this one in the future so that I can put some clips in slow-mo. So keep an eye out for that, because that'll be really cool. Let's try that again. So I want you guys to see if you can do this ghost step a few more times. It's jumping off your right leg, kicking your left leg in the air. We're switching them so our right leg's in front again and our left leg is back so that we can kick again and again and again and again, okay? So ghost step. Woo, woo. And it's called a misstep because you're missing that leg, right? So we're skipping one. It's called a ghost step because somebody thought it'd be cooler to call it like ghost, like you're ghosting your step. I don't know. Sounds cool, right? I think it sounds cool. So let's try a few more. Let me do another one so you guys can see. Jumping off my right leg, landing back on my right leg. Now, when you do this jump, the more you kick your left leg up, the further you'll go. And the more you kick your left leg behind you as you switch back to your right, the cooler it's going to look. Okay, so that big switch from one leg to the other, when you do it in place, looks really goofy, but when you're running at top speed and you're doing a big jump, it's gonna look really awesome. All right, so that right there is the ghost jump. Any questions? Good. Okay, ghost step, ghost stride, misstep, misstep stride, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so it is a running jump, stride, but we're switching our legs. All right. Hope you guys were able to practice along with this one. If not, and you had to do it inside and you didn't have that much space, just wait, remember it. You'll be able to do it in no time, okay? Remember the important things about our landings, making sure we're doing them properly, and make sure that we're taking off, looking at the right things so that we don't fall into a pit of lava full of sharks. All right, thank you. Here. Last thing before we go is a little bit of information for you. Starting on Thursday, so that is May 14th, we are going to be doing Zoom classes. Zoom classes are going to take place for intermediate, so Parkour Level 2, intermediate class. We will have a Zoom on Thursday, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 o'clock, okay? Now you'll get if you are paying for tuition and you're paying to take this class, you will get an email about all of this with the information on how to get onto the Zoom class, all right? You do not need to download any programs or anything like that. You can do it all through the internet, all right? And you can also do it on a laptop, a cell phone, or a tablet, or anything with a browser, I think. You can get into the Zoom class. If you have a webcam or you have a phone with a camera on it, that means that when I'm coaching you, I can see you and I can talk directly to you and you can talk to me. So that way I can say, all right, Fred, let me see your go step. And then I'll be like, oh, Fred, you forgot to look at where you're going, and so forth, right? So we'll be able to interact a little bit with the class. Now, if you are not paying for tuition, but you wanted to still take the class, guess what? You can, because it's going to be on YouTube still, all right? So we'll be live streaming the Zoom classes. So those of you that are not members or not signed up for the tuition in the Zoom classes, you will still be able to take the class on YouTube. You'll be able to see it. But if you want, you should sign up for the Zoom classes because it'll be way better, all right? If you want more information about that, go to our website. Check it out there. I think it might be up there. If it's not up there, send us an email. Go to the contact form and be like, Coach Alex is talking about a Zoom class, and I have no clue what he means. We will get you sorted, all right? If you're already enrolled for these classes, you will be getting an email about it. You might have already. I don't know. I'm not in charge of the emails. I'm just here to teach you guys parkour. Cool. I hope that wasn't at all confusing what I just said. I feel like I'm really confusing sometimes, but maybe I'm not. I just talk. Okay, thank you for tuning in to Metro South Virtual Classes Online Learning Platform, Parkour and Freerunning Level 2, Intermediate, Ghost Steps, Running Jumps, Miss Legs, Strides. Cool. We'll see you soon. See you on Thursday. Remember, 4 o'clock. No longer at 2:30. It will be at 4 o'clock. So don't show up at 2:30 because I won't be here. See ya.